We're the Plotaholics, a breakfast club of two. We're the Plotaholics, ripping plots apart for you. Hey everybody, welcome to this very special episode. I guess the more we do these, the less special they become, but
the speciality starts to sort of fade just a little, but it's still awesome.
We are it's still special and it's still awesome, and we are still the Plotaholics, and we are live.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are
breaking out a little of the sassy snake dance.
That's right. I'm gonna start doing.
Snake.
I'm gonna do the fish dance in a bit, just for and I'm gonna hashtag it the fish dance. Like
the fish dance, I like it. I'm really excited to talk to you about what you've been watching lately, but I think we should kick things off today with just a rundown of what all we have going on. It's a big week for us, Mr. Tan. This weekend, the big 1 year anniversary celebration.
Woo! 1 year older, 1 year wiser.
1 years.
1 years. That's right. Yeah. Hey, if they can pluralize Lone Rangers, I can pluralize 1 years.
I mean, I feel like you could pluralize anything if you really wanted to.
Absolutely. I think so.
Yeah.
One wife's.
So this coming Saturday at 2 p.m., we will be right here again to do a live video broadcast of the podcast for the very first time.
Yes, we will. And now, as we said last week, and we said it during this last episode of the Plotaholics podcast, we will still do an actual podcast upload. But this episode is going to be special because you're going to be able to get with us live and interact with us as well as we discuss 1976's classic Rocky.
Yeah, it's a big weekend for sure.
It really is. I am pumped for this.
Rocky is going to put a cap also on our March Movie Madness.
Yeah, March Movie Madness has been an awesome time. It's really has.
I've had a good time with it. That's for sure.
I love the fact though that we sort of got a twofer with Happy Gilmore and Goon, because there was still so much hockey and inquired upon in Happy Gilmore, and then we just went right to Goon.
Well, and in so many ways, we're getting sort of a threefer on beating the shit out of people.
That's true. But, luckily, because I'm pretty sure if Sylvester Stallone or Carl Weathers had to fight Bob Barker would probably be putting it on him, especially the 1976 Bob Barker. I heard he was a badass.
1976 Bob Barker, it has been said, was quite the cage fighter.
Oh, I heard. Oh, yeah, absolutely. One time I heard Bob Barker, 1976, and Chuck Norris actually got into a fight, and they caused another big bang in a galaxy far, far away. Yeah, that's what I heard.
Is that a butt sex joke, Ryan?
No, not at all. No, not at all.
I thought you were saying that they had a big bang.
No. You better be careful, man. Chuck Norris roundhouse kicks people out of nowhere for less. I would never imply such a thing.
Respect Chuck Norris so very little. So,
Shane Wilson is not a Chuck Norris guy.
No, I'm really not, and it's really just his whole thing is just very.
Oh, come on! But you do realize that if a zombie bites Chuck Norris, it becomes a Chuck Norris.
Yeah, those jokes are so awesome.
I think they are. I love them. I remember I had a book that said that it was Chuck Norris versus Mr. T. 200 fun facts about the two baddest dudes in the history of ever.
I get it. I get the jokes and I understand their appeal, but I feel like they're a little dated. I mean, because and this I say with full sincerity, if Chuck Norris had the power that all of those jokes claims that he has, then Mike Huckabee would have been the president.
Oh, that's a good point.
because
That's a
Chuck
good point.
Norris definitely endorsed Mike Huckabee and was in a ton of super weird commercials for that guy.
Yeah, but you killed it. Great.
I mean, what
Great.
can you do?
You know
What can
what?
you
I
say
used to
now?
love Chuck Norris. Now you killed it. First, when we went into our Rise of Skywalker, I loved Rise of Skywalker. I talked to you for like 2 hours, and it's like, I hate that damn movie. Now it's
Yeah,
like Chuck Norris. Oh, F Chuck Norris.
yeah, you're welcome.
Now I'm White Goodman.
Well, here's something
Now
that we
I'm
can here's something we can both definitely agree on, and that is how awesome it is to hear that Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson are continuing to improve in their COVID-19 diagnosis. They've been released from the hospital. We talked about that last week, but they continue, according to the post that they've been putting up on social media, continue to improve, and they are getting close to no symptoms, and so things are looking good for in the Hanks household.
absolutely, and I'm glad for that, especially because I lost one Mr. Rogers, a long time ago.
Yeah,
I'm not ready to lose another one. So, and
yeah,
plus, and Tom Hanks he's like the coolest dude in Hollywood. He really is. He's always genuinely cared about, social issues. He's always been a good dude. You never hear anything negative about him. And as the years have gone by, he's really stepped up, and feeling the need to really use his celebrity and his station to bring about positive change.
yeah.
So God bless him and Rita Wilson, both
Yeah,
class
both
acts.
of them have been great, and they've done a number of things while they've been in quarantine that have been just delightful on social media. And I don't know how much of this you've seen, but
Not much, but
Rita Wilson asked people for suggestions for a quarantine playlist.
nice.
And then she made the playlist on Spotify. It's called Quarantunes.
Nice.
And then just the other day, she posted a video of her rapping Naughty by Nature.
Oh my God. Is this on Instagram?
It's on YouTube, and while it might get us in a little YouTube trouble, I think I kind of want to play some of it.
Yeah, I want to hear Rita Wilson's flow, man. I guarantee you she's probably a better rapper than I could ever be.
All right, let me kick it over into the video a bit, and
Rita Wilson kicking the flow. I love it.
I gotta make sure that everything is ready to roll here.
Rita Wilson is like the MC of the house party of house parties. Matter of fact, they're going to do a house party 6 where Rita Wilson becomes a third member of Kid and Play.
Right. So here's Rita Wilson singing. We'll give it a little hip hop hooray for you.
Oh, snap.
Arrayed, afraid of what I made and played it with some funky twists of sage and flipping and trick. Put that music in your funky bag. Triggers from the grill town, ill town. Somehow how it feels now. The deals that were real, so we're still down. Don't laugh with a freestyle phantom. Ain't trying to be handsome. Shrinking what you're thinking, cause I'm vamping. I live and die for hip hop. This is hip hop of today. I give props to hip hop. So hip hop, hooray! Ho!
So there you go. There's a little Rita Wilson
Rita.
for you.
Rita's got some flow. Oh,
I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. And in general, it's just always good when somebody falls ill and then they're able to post. It shows that they're sort of on the mend, and so that always is nice to see.
And to humanize it, and just the humanization of a woman who's been a Hollywood mainstay for a lot of years.
Yeah.
We look at these celebrities as like gods come to earth, and it's nice to see them. See her being real down to earth and normal, like a normal person.
Yeah, well, and I saw an article somewhere. Who knows? I've read so much stuff over the last few weeks, but it said that whenever Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson they were diagnosed, that's the moment that it became real for a lot of people.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it stopped being over there because so much of empathy has to do with who we know. Like
Right.
It's hard to visualize even like 2 million lives. It's hard to know what that is, but once you put a face on something, it becomes so much more real for people. And so that I think was kind of a turning point in the public consciousness when it comes to this COVID-19.
Absolutely. And what's crazy is that, Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson made it real. And then I think for a lot of Black folks, it took Idris Elba coming down with it, because there were some whispers around that I was hearing, and different shows that I was watching that some people were trying to say, well, black people can't get it because
Right.
it wasn't in Africa. It's like, that's not how viruses work.
Yeah, it is.
Viruses get you. That is what they do.
Yeah, and it's just been so wild watching this thing cascade over the planet, the way that it has.
It's like someone's playing Plague Inc. and just doing a great
I've
job.
thought so much about that freaking game over the last few weeks. I love that game, by the way.
It is such a fun game. I don't play it often, but I've bought it, and it will always be a mainstay on my phone.
Well, and
no
it
matter
is not
what.
comforting to know that the easiest mode to win with is virus. So
I know, right?
also, that company put out a new game,
Mhm.
and I should have put this on my how we're getting through part of the show because I've been playing a ton of it. I have not been playing Plague Inc. because I don't want that in my brain, but I discovered a new game by that same company, and oh god, what is it even called? I think it's called Insurgency or something like that.
Oh, let me check that out.
Hold on a minute.
Insurgency,
Endemic Creations is what is the company. And let's see.
that is awesome.
It's called Rebel Inc.
Rebel Inc. Okay.
Yeah, and so it's like a green thumbnail, but or icon. So in this, you have been tasked with stabilizing a region after a war has been ended. And it is it's super compelling, just like Plague Inc. was, but there's more going on. Like it's a more complex sort of scenario, but it's a lot of fun.
Nice. Yeah, I have to check this out. I see it's only $1.99.
Yeah.
All right.
Totally
yeah.
worth it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to pick that bad boy up.
Yeah. So in further COVID-19 celebrity news.
Oh, there's more?
Harvey Weinstein has tested positive for COVID-19. Harvey Weinstein seen here posing for his mugshot in prison. Harvey, we're not going to spend a ton of time talking
Was
about
that
it.
really him? I can't tell.
Right? No, I mean it is him.
Oh,
that's a real picture from when he was when he went to jail. So,
okay. Holy crap! You know what I just noticed?
What's that?
A guy that I knew as a kid really just walked down the street, down the alley outside of my window. That's so weird. But yeah, so Harvey Weinstein is
he's tested. He's in prison, but he's
in prison.
Positive.
All right, that's cool. You know what? I think that COVID-19 is a terrible, terrible thing, and I wish it would be eradicated from the earth. But if it takes Harvey Weinstein with it, I'm not going to be sad.
Yeah, it's that old Mark Twain thing, right? I wish death on no one, but there are certain obituaries I would read with a smile or whatever.
Yes,
paraphrase.
That is an amazing paraphrase, and that is one obit that if I woke up to it tomorrow, I'd just be like, yeah.
Right. In further Jackass news, Woody Allen, seen here making sure that he stays at least 100 yards from the nearest playground, has found a new publisher for his memoir, which I think probably in Frank Reynolds style is called "I Did Not Diddle Kids." I did not diddle kids.
Or better yet, if it's in the O.J. Simpson style, I'm not saying that I didn't diddle any kids, but
right.
If I did,
if I was going to diddle kids, here's how I would have.
Yeah, he's another one that, like, he needs to just be launched off the planet. You know, just put him in the super slingshot and just fire him into the atmosphere.
Yeah, and I can't remember the publisher that originally was going to publish it, and then their staff just like walked out on him. And so they pulled that deal, and then Arcade Publishing
Arcade
picked it up.
Yeah, Grand Central Publishing. Let me see here. The early March, Grand Central Publishing announced that they would be releasing the book. And after widespread criticism from printing the movie maker and alleged excessive abuse of memoirs, over 70 employees, staged a walkout. And they're like, screw that. And then so Arcade Publishing picked it up. So I guess, I don't know. I don't want to say something that's going to get us into too much trouble, but it's time for the Arcade to close.
Yeah. My favorite part of this 2-part joke is the fact that the Woody Allen donkey has glasses.
Yes. I love the fact though that they, you know what, in real life, Harvey Weinstein and Woody Allen look like they could be related, and then you got identical twin donkeys
Right.
and
Yeah.
it's just perfect.
Yeah, it made me laugh when I was coming up with that. Now, we talked earlier today about how our top story is going to be what we're going to talk about next, and I almost led with it, but I felt like we wanted to take like a smooth trajectory up, into the good news. And we started with Tom Hanks, took a little bit of a dip then, but here I think is probably the best pop culture entertainment news that we've gotten that's not related to COVID-19 in a long time, and that is that Rosario Dawson has been cast as Ahsoka Tano in The Mandalorian. Brian, your thoughts?
Oh, Rosario Dawson, so hot. If I have permission, want to touch the hiney.
Very good. Very Plotaholics, big proponents of consent here.
Yes, absolutely. But in all seriousness, I love Rosario Dawson. I love her in like everything she does.
Yeah.
Like, because she's freaking Rosario Dawson. Come on, man. Like, I introduced Sharon to the film Down to You over the weekend, and she was like, "Oh my God, is that Rosario Dawson?" I'm like, yes, Rosario Dawson is the airheaded stoner girl.
Completely forgot she was in that movie. I love that movie.
It is such a great movie. And
we
Rosario,
talked about that on the podcast this week, right?
A little bit, yeah.
Love Down to You. I need to watch that again. It does. It makes me genuinely happy.
Same here. It really does, because all the characters, even the unlikable characters, are likable, and they make me laugh. And that film is included in that special file I sent you.
Oh, very good. Yes.
Mm-hmm. But
yeah, I am incredibly. First of all, I'm incredibly excited that we get a live action Ahsoka Tano.
Absolutely, she is one of the best breakout Star Wars characters that have really come about that isn't named Skywalker.
Yeah, and not only that, but in Favreau we trust, right? Like,
absolutely.
And the fact that he gets to adapt this character, I completely trust.
I'm even more excited. Yeah. The fact that Favreau is involved, it kind of makes me sad for one reason. Yeah. And that's because I was hoping that Rosario Dawson would play Jennifer Walters as She-Hulk. But she could do both. Like, for me, my short list of who I would want to play She-Hulk is...
Are they all in The Mandalorian now?
2 of them are.
Yeah.
Rosario Dawson and Gina Carano.
Yeah.
Those are my
Gina
main...
Carano would be excellent.
Absolutely. But I think that... Now, I can't wait. I hope that I get to see Rosario Dawson and Gina Carano on screen together at some point.
Yeah, for sure.
Because that's just going to be an amazing... That's just going to be an amazing episode.
Well, I'm excited for... the Ahsoka Tano Moff Gideon showdown.
Oh yes,
it's coming because he's got that gray saber.
The black saber.
The black saber. Yeah.
See, I gotta watch the Clone Wars show, and then watch Rebels to really get.
That's what we should be doing right now.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Everything is slowed down. Yeah, I've started the Clone Wars a few times, and I just watch an episode every now and then, and I know that it's a show that kind of is slow to take off, but once it gets going, it's good. So,
well, see, for me, when it first came out, I was like, dude, I just watched Clone Wars. I just watched season 2 of Clone Wars because I was used to the anime of Clone Wars, which is really, really good storytelling. They don't really do a whole, like some of their shorts, they don't do a lot of verbal storytelling. It's all visual, and it's really well done. But I did enjoy. I think the reason why I sort of rebelled against Clone Wars a lot was because this came out at a time where everything was taking place around the episode 3, between episode 2 and episode 3.
Right.
And I was getting sick of it. It's like, come on, let's get away from this, please.
Yeah.
So I definitely intend on getting back in it so I can really get more of Ahsoka. But I mean, Rosario Dawson is so talented. She's like, you're hard pressed to find any role that she's had where she hasn't just been great at what she did. She
Yeah.
did. It's going up to Mike Faria in the house.
Yeah, Mike is here. Yes.
But no, but I mean, in all seriousness, even in that dreadful Sin City: A Dame to Kill For, Rosario Dawson was probably among the best parts of that movie.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I don't know that I've ever seen anything that I disliked her in, so I'm very excited that she's going to join the Mandalorian this coming up season.
Season
Do
2.
we know that she's been cast in season 2? Because we do know that for sure season 2 has wrapped filming.
So maybe she's not in season 2. Maybe she's at the very end of season 2.
I'm wondering if she's going to enter the end of season 2, sort of like what Moff Gideon did at the end of season 1. You know,
Right. And then season 3, she'll probably be like a main cast member. Because at this point, as great as the Mandalorian is, as Mando is, he's got a Force baby.
Yeah, he does have a Force baby, so that's probably what's going to bring him to her.
Force baby daddy.
And thank you, Mike.
Thanks,
as
Mike.
always, sharing it, the support, love it.
Yep. Yeah. Please. You can find us on all your social media at Plotaholics. Like, share, subscribe.
Yeah, and for the foreseeable future, as long as we're all cooped up, we will be broadcasting every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Brian, I've added the Facebook Live back to the mix.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I did, yeah. I like having it in both places. I think I like the interactions we get on Facebook. And for those of you who are not subscribed on YouTube, this gives you another opportunity to catch us. So
absolutely.
Yeah,
but
that'll be at 6 p.m. on Tuesday nights.
Eastern Standard Time, or
Eastern Standard Time.
Or 1800 if you're nasty.
That's right. So what is becoming quickly a running segment on the show, movies releasing to VOD services early.
So many things are just like, let's just put it out there. Come on.
Yeah. So these are the big titles that I saw when I did my search today of movies that are coming early.
Damn.
Yeah. So that is Onward, which hasn't even been out that long.
No, yeah, it just like hit theaters like right before all this happened.
Yeah, and so you get it's already out on demand, but it'll be on Disney Plus. Like, it's sort of following the Frozen 2 trajectory.
Right.
And it'll be on Disney Plus in about a week, just a little over a week. Birds of Prey, which is excellent, is out today, actually, on demand.
Oh, okay. Maybe, you know what? Maybe I'll rent it, because I'm at a point, though, as much as I do like the video on demand, shout out to Anita Stewart.
Yeah.
It really sucks that when you buy these things on demand, you're not buying the movie, you're extended renting.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing I'm kind of against with it. But
I mean, it's no different.
It's still exciting.
It's no different than going to the movie, right? Which is now the difference, I think, is these movies that actually had theatrical runs, they might actually be available to purchase on demand, not just rent.
Well, even if you purchase them, it's still technically an extended rent. It's an extended rental, because you can always watch it as long as that service is still there. So like if you buy it off Amazon, if Amazon Prime Video tanks tomorrow, you're out $15, $15 to $20 or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's still awesome that it's there. There's the convenience of it. Birds of Prey, I do want to see.
It was top notch. I really enjoyed it. Bad Boys for Life then comes out next week, as does Sonic the Hedgehog. I would suggest seeing Sonic the Hedgehog. I would suggest ignoring Bad Boys for Life.
You know what? I'm gonna try to watch it just because I want to see. Because I heard Bad Boys for Life is actually the best of the three.
Yeah, I've heard that too. But I mean,
it's not much to go on, because the first one sucked. The second one was just god awful. So this can just be mediocre at best.
Right. And then The Lovebirds is one of the first films that was slated for a April release, and it is just going to Netflix.
Now, I haven't even heard about this movie. The Lovebirds.
Yeah, this is a romantic comedy starring Kumail Nanjiani and Issa Rae.
Okay.
And it was slated for theatrical release on April 3rd. That says April 2nd. That's a typo. But it's gonna forego video on demand and just go to Netflix.
Oh, okay.
So
So basically, so the original release date is a basketball, and they're just going straight to Netflix. Interesting.
yeah. Let's see. Mike has asked what state I'm in. So to be
State of Decay.
I am in a state of mental anguish. Mike, I am in North Carolina, Nalkakalaki.
No cack.
Um, and yeah, so if you're asking because of COVID-19, you might know that we have somewhere in the range of too many cases in our state.
Yeah, because you got a beach, so like everyone's like, we'll go to the beach.
Yeah, but we don't have a party beach here.
Oh,
South Carolina has the party beach.
oh, that's how that works.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
they've got Myrtle Beach down there, and
Myrtle!
yeah, and that's where it's popping off these days.
Hmm.
Here, the beaches aren't. I mean, I'm sure people have been going, but they haven't been. It's not like a spring break destination.
Gotcha.
And yeah, I haven't looked at the numbers today because I'll be honest with you, Brian. I've started to limit my consumption of COVID-19 news.
Yeah, it's starting to get to be too much. I won't watch the White House briefings because there's only but so much dribble that I can stand.
Well, I like Dr. Fauci a whole lot.
Oh, he's cool as hell. I love his facial reactions.
Yeah, I like him, and but I've been watching Governor Cuomo in New York, and then our
Whoa,
governor,
Mo!
because
You
I
wanna
feel like
talk
those
about
two guys
leadership.
have the most clout, and they sort of on a local level, like my state has done a significantly good job at being in sort of ahead of the curve in a lot of the actions that governors have been taking. So
Mhm.
no major complaints here.
That's good.
Um,
Yeah, the Governor Wolf up here in Pennsylvania has been doing a pretty decent job. Matter of fact, he pulled GameStop's business license because
Good.
they tried to stay open
That
here
was
in
so
Pennsylvania.
stupid.
And he's just like, yeah, no, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, Mike also asked what is going on with all the movies that that's been scheduled for release. Most of them are, I think,
They're delaying release dates.
yeah,
Most
they're
of
just
them.
gonna wait. But Brian, what's gonna happen eventually, whenever the theaters do open, is that there's gonna be such a backlog. There's gonna be an incredible bottleneck
Oh,
of
absolutely.
movies. So what's probably gonna have to happen is like the future schedule, like A Quiet Place 2. We may not get A Quiet Place 2 for another
For like
year.
in a year. Well, they pushed Wonder Woman 84 to August,
Mm-hmm.
and Black Widow has no rescheduled date. All these things they're either they're trying to decide if they're just going to go straight to streaming or if they're just going to reschedule their releases, which will, it's going to destroy the schedule. I mean, I don't even
Yeah.
think they truly know what they're doing as of
Well,
yet.
and there's a lot to be said, and there's probably going to be plenty of time to say it about how this particular moment is going to reshape the American economy, and theatrical releases. That's going to be one of those things that, if depending on how things go, um, we may be moving away from that sort of consumption of media.
Yeah, I mean, it's getting to a point now where these major studios are having streaming services, so they can eliminate the middleman and just go right to their streaming services. Like if Disney wanted to, they can. Yeah, they can still, because they're still going to coop their money from Disney Plus in the
Yeah.
parks. So I mean, yeah, you get money as these people go to the theaters, but really it hasn't done all that much. You know what I mean? It's not that big of a deal. Like, really, the studios are gonna be fine. They don't need the movie theaters.
I think what's going to
anymore.
happen. Yeah, well, I think what you'll see is this is the test run for video on demand as a substitute for theatrical release.
Right.
If they don't make any money doing it this way, then they'll go back and try
They'll
to
go
do the
back,
theatrical
yeah.
release again. Yeah.
Yeah. they'll go
Because the
to it.
problem is when you do theatrical release, you're competing with like
Other
15
movies.
maybe other movies at one time, you know. But when you do something that's on video on demand, then not only are you competing with everything that's available on demand, you're competing with a bunch of free stuff and a bunch of cheaper stuff.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I think it'll go back, but I think that this has given the studios an opportunity to give it a shot uh, under these sort of circumstances where they get where by all and Mike, no, Bloodshot didn't come out. It's one that actually I saw
It
something
was
about.
out for a week. It was
I
out
saw,
for a week before
yeah,
they
it was,
shut down. So it's going to be on video on demand.
yeah, it was one that I saw. Let me see if I can get a date for you, because I saw that it was coming out. It was on the list of movies that I saw earlier today. Today you can purchase
Oh,
Bloodshot video on demand today, March 24th.
okay. So Bloodshot's on there as well. Cool.
So,
So no,
yeah, and
that's
Joe's popping
outstanding.
in with the indie theater, and he's absolutely right. Those are the folks that are gonna really suffer if they have to be
Yeah.
shut down for an extended period of time.
And that sucks. And there's a lot of them that saying they won't open again, and that's
Yeah,
terrible because as these conglomerates have moved into town, a lot of these indie theaters started because I know there's two that right off the top of my head. There was one that's in the Squirrel Hill section of Pittsburgh, which is where I work, and that's where I went to go see the first Sam Raimi Spider-Man, and I
hmm
loved that theater.
yeah.
And there
Those
was
theaters
another
are
theater.
all of those theaters are awesome.
Oh yeah, and then there was another one that was in the same area that I saw The Matrix at. And then there was one in Bloomfield, which is near an area where I used to live near when I went to go see the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And that theater was awesome.
Yeah, you
Now
know the
all those are
theater
gone.
here, the Cameo hosts to the film festival that we covered last year.
Yeah.
They are also they're also being expressing some legitimate concern. Um, they think they'll be okay, but only if their audience comes back when it's over. But if everybody decides to just keep staying home and consuming their media that way, then it's going to be tough.
Yeah. And you know what? For a guy who I love staying indoors, I don't like going out, but I do like going to the movies every now and again.
Yeah,
As much as I dislike the last Star Wars, I wouldn't change that experience
yeah,
going
no,
to see it at the
absolutely.
theater for anything.
Yeah,
Hell, I went to go see every Marvel movie or Star Wars movie that I've seen in 3D. That's an experience that I would never have gotten because I don't have 3D capability at home.
yeah.
So,
Well, let's since we're sort of talking about that, let's pick back up with our how we're getting through it list.
how are we getting through the quarantine? I just made that up.
Your list changed a bit on video games for this week.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm still playing NBA 2K20. My team, my Chicago Bulls are in the NBA Finals against the top seeded Houston Rockets. They actually had the best record in the league. I think they were at like 60, 62 and 20. Or I know they had a 60 win season. No, they were 60 and 22. And my character, who's the starting center for the Bulls, is just going insane in the playoffs, averaging over 35 points and 20 rebounds a game in like 5.8 blocks. So I'm just a monster. But I but I also I got the I had a credit from Amazon. For those that listen to Audible, they had a promotion going on back in January that if you listen to three certain types of audiobooks, they had to be over 3 hours in length. If you did it within a certain period of time, you would get a $20 Amazon credit. So I was able to buy the Lego Marvel collection, where it had Lego Marvel Superheroes 1 and 2 and Lego Marvel Avengers with all the DLC. So I got that. So I'm playing Lego Marvel Superheroes, the first one. And it's kind of fun. I like it. So while I'm doing my viewing, I'm also playing a game because it's awesome like that.
Nice. I talked a little bit last week about my my Minecrafting, and I was trying to pull up some screenshots of Dunder Mifflin that I had taken, but yeah. So Mike is asking about where on demand, any video on demand
Any
service.
VOD, anywhere that does VOD, it's there,
So
Mike.
Amazon will do it. The Microsoft Store will do it.
Yep.
Voodoo, right, is another one.
Yeah, Voodoo, Amazon, Xbox, probably on Roku as well. Video on demand, everywhere, anywhere that does video on demand. And and Joe brings up a good point. If at some point these streaming platforms are probably going to up their monthly rate at some point.
If that becomes sort of the direction that things are going, then they'll be able to, because there will be less competition.
Yeah, they'll be the only games in town. So
yeah, either that, or they will risk pricing themselves out. If they all go up sort of at the same time, then whatever. But and you kind of have to watch that, because Netflix has gone up a few times over its history in little increments. Hulu kind of goes back and forth sometimes, but now that there's a whole slew of them out there, it'll be interesting to see what happens.
yeah, and that's a good point, because I think Hulu right now is the lowest cost of all of them at I think either $4.99 or $5.99. So I think Hulu's probably going to stay where it's at. And honestly, Netflix. Here's the thing, and we talked about this last year during the Stream Wars segments. They are all in so much competition with each other that whoever ups their prices, they're going to be losing subscribers if one of the others decides, hey, you know what? If I drop a price, I'm going to make an even bigger profit.
Yeah.
So
you were talking about Lego Marvel Superheroes.
Yeah.
Is it amazing?
It is absolutely amazing.
I love those Lego games so much.
They really are.
The Lego Star Wars games are so fun.
I have the Lego Star Wars one where it's like the original trilogy and the prequel trilogy. Yeah. So, and I'm waiting for them to do the sequel trilogy. I don't think they're going to do it, but I'm waiting.
We'll
for
see.
It. But yeah, Lego Marvel is awesome.
Michelle and I were playing the Jurassic Park one, and it's a lot of fun. But yeah, I've wanted to play Lego Marvel Heroes, but I have.
I suggest it. I think you're going to enjoy it.
Yeah, my list of games is basically the same this week, but I've added Battlefront 2.
You have?
I mean, I've played it before a bunch, but I've gone back to it this week.
Good to know.
Yeah, it's pretty fun, man. And they've released the Celebration Edition. Which is a DLC, but I think that it was free ? Part of it was anyway.
I'm gonna try down. You know what? Maybe I'll try downloading it. We can play, because I did download Monster Hunter.
Yeah, we got to play that. Now I'm still on that every now and then, but that's just a ton of fun. We got to get on Monster Hunter.
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
Have you played it yet?
Yeah, I played it for like an hour, and it was kind of fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. What was the last monster that you hunted?
I took my first quest, so I killed those little lizard monster things.
Oh yeah, it's about to get a lot more fun.
Nice. And I like my little cat dude.
Yeah, right. Wait until you have to fight that Tyrannosaurus Rex with wings.
Oh snap! What?
Yeah,
that is awesome.
That's just wild. I think like one of the first ones, like they're all kind of wild, but that's the first really hard one, is the Tyrannosaurus with wings, and he breathes fire.
Nice.
Yeah,
no one's
awesome.
gonna be making fun of him for having short arms anymore.
No, let me see if I can figure out what he's called, so I can like pull up a little.
Let me see. Well, while you're doing that, let me see here. Mike Ferry is saying he tried to playing the Resident Evil 2 remake today, and it is different. It's very similar to the original Resident Evil 2, but very different, and that's what makes it awesome. And yeah, you don't get a whole lot of ammo. You learn to run and conserve ammo. And then you get real excited when you have a lot of ammo, and then you just get housed. I'm actually almost not the final boss fight, but I'm close. I'm actually at the point where I'm in the lab and I got to fight William Birkin, and I don't have a lot of ammo. It's kind it's kind of getting nerve-wracking, but I'll figure it out.
Here is it's called the Anginus.
The engine is, oh snap, look at him. Look at him. And he's got a furry tail, or is he just blurry? He looks cool as hell.
He's furry. He's got wings and
Nice.
feathers and shit.
That is awesome.
Yeah,
Look
dude.
at him.
That game is. We should stream us playing Monster Hunter World.
Oh yeah. Well. So what? You want to do a Plotaholics Twitch account?
Yeah, we should, right? All right. Let's see. You're still this week on the Arrowverse stuff, but I am dying to talk to you about the League.
Oh man, yeah. So we're still on the Arrowverse right now. Sharon and I are, and we've incorporated Legends of Tomorrow because, as everyone who watches the Arrowverse knows, after a while, as you go, you start getting the crossover events. But Shane and a few other people, but Shane especially over the last couple of months, has been really busting my balls. Why aren't you watching the League? You got to watch the League. I was like, fine, I'll watch the League. I'll watch one episode. I'm like, oh, it's just like It's Almost Sunny, but with freaking, it's got fantasy football. I love this.
It's amazing. And I don't know how many episodes you've watched, but
I'm in the season 2 already.
Yeah,
I got through all of season 1 on Sunday. And I'm up to season 2 now. Oh my God. The Shiva. Dude, and you want to know what? Shiva was in season 1 or season 2 of Arrow.
Pocket dogs indeed, Joe.
I haven't gotten a pocket dog yet, but I will.
Have you met Rafi?
I have met Rafi.
Rafi.
AKA Adrian Pimento from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I love Jason Sudeikis. He is awesome.
Mantzoukas. Jason Mantzoukas.
What did I say?
Sudeikis.
I meant Mantzoukas.
Yeah.
All these Greek names sound the same.
Jason Mantzoukas is amazing.
He is.
Especially in this part. He's so gross.
He is disgusting. Matter of fact, I got to see the episode where was the one dude's wife who's in the League, and she's trying to get the sex addict to be turned on by her, and he's not. And at the end of the episode, he ends up nailing Rafi in the backseat.
Oh man, yeah,
that was
Rafi is
Rafi
wild.
is horrible. Eskimo brother.
Yeah, I have this week, and I don't know why I didn't think about this last week, but because we've been watching both the new seasons of Bob's Burgers and the first season of Duncanville.
Oh, okay.
Duncanville is an Amy Poehler production.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, and it has Amy Poehler. Amy Poehler does the mom's voice. Phil Dunphy, the guy that plays Phil Dunphy on Modern Family, he does the dad's voice, and Rashida Jones is in there.
I love Rashida Jones. I love her.
Mad crush on Rashida Jones.
Absolutely. You better be careful. Quincy will hear you. He'll write a song about killing you.
Oh yeah, Joe mentions Dirty Randy.
I keep hearing him talk about Dirty Randy, and I'm getting really scared because even Rafi is like, Dirty Randy is dirty. Yeah. It's like, oh no.
Yeah, you'll be so excited when Dirty Randy shows up.
This makes me want to watch It's Always Sunny again too.
I know. Yeah, I think I'm going to start that tonight actually. But yeah, Duncanville's it's one of the best new cartoons that I've seen in a while. It's still finding its legs, but it's got some promise, you know.
You know a show I want to start watching again, and I really want to get into, is it called Big Mouth or something?
Yeah.
I want to get back to that because I watched the first season of that and it made me laugh hard.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
I love the episode where all the dead musicians are there, and he goes, "Yeah, well, you guys are all dead." He's like, "Well, you got a little dick." And then Whitney Houston goes, "Your dick looks like a baby's nose." It's like, whoa, what an insult.
Well, you know who created that show?
Ooh.
Nick Kroll, the guy who plays Ruxin on.
Nice. I love Ruxin. He is probably the most terrible person in the show.
He's the worst person in Westeros every week.
He really is. He's got like the hottest wife, and he's just such like, we were watching the episode where they tricked Rafi to trade can't remember who he traded, but Ruxin was trying to get him, and him and his wife are having the private time. Yeah. So he ties her up and blindfolds her so he can make lead trades. Sharon's like, he would die. He would so die.
There's so many jokes about football that are so funny, like how Taco was trying to draft somebody from like
Canadian
the
football
Canadian
league.
Football League.
Taco. I love Taco. Oh, and I saw the one you were talking about where the guy just gets in the Russell gets in the hot tub with Antonio Gates. And he goes, wow, you got beat up by Antonio Gates. Like, actually, I ran away and I busted my eye running. That was so great.
Yeah, that show is excellent.
It truly is. I love it so much. I love Taco's songs. I love his songs.
Yeah, that guy did a whole. He had that's his bit, right? Like,
yeah.
And so there are a lot of videos from before he was on the league of him doing songs like that.
Nice.
If you'll just look up his like YouTube channel or whatever, they're all pretty solid.
Cool. I'll have to check that. He's got me laughing so hard I'm crying over it.
Man, that show is a trip for sure. Well,
just thinking about it makes me laugh.
Well, Brian, because we've been quarantined, we've been watching a lot of new movies, and so it's time once again for the first time in a long time for
Plotaholics mini reviews. The mini reviews on the floor, and I'm dancing like I've never danced. Why? Wow, what's happening? What's happening? Oh my god.
Well, wow. Brian recovers from getting caught dancing like he's never danced before. And we've got a few people on. I would like to remind everyone that this weekend at 2 p.m. you can catch our 1-year anniversary show. We'll be talking about Rocky, but this is the first time that we will be doing a live video podcast. So be sure to tune in at 2 on Saturday for the 1-year anniversary of the Plotaholics podcast. Are you good now?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, you might catch me dancing. You might catch me dancing on Saturday.
Yeah, that may be my favorite moment on one of these in a while. So anyway, Brian, this week you saw, actually today, you watched 3 from Hell, a Rob Zombie film.
Yes, I did. Yep, you're right, Joe. 2 p.m. EST on Saturday. But yeah, so 3 from Hell is the third film in Rob Zombie's Firefly trilogy. The first film being House of a Thousand Corpses. The second film, which I thought was going to end it, Devil's Rejects. And then now we have 3 from Hell. Now, here's the thing. I didn't so much like House of a Thousand Corpses all that much. I mean, it serves its purpose, but it's whatever. I didn't mind Devil's Rejects. I thought it was kind of cool. And 3 from Hell is literally, it's basically Devil's Rejects in a lot of ways. And that's really not as bad as you would think. I mean, essentially this film, you get the exact, yep, Kelly Russell in the house. You know it. You know, I was getting ready to tug on the chain and drop water, but I think Sharon would get upset. But no, if you've seen Devil's Rejects, 3 from Hell is a pretty decent continuation. It's murder hobo central. Lots of blood, tons of blood, lots of cool killing effects, and a lot of just, it's Bill Moseley being Bill Moseley, and Sherry Moon Zombie being Sherry Moon Zombie. And honestly, it's not terrible if you're into that sort of thing, but I'm not going to go outside of my way to watch it again.
I don't know, Brian, if I like Rob Zombie as a director.
He makes a lot of interesting shot choices. He really does.
Yeah, but I've never really been enthralled with anything that I've seen him do.
I haven't either. I mean, his
script thing. I think visually his stuff is pretty interesting, but
visually he does a pretty decent job. His shot choices on certain things, like one in particular in 3 Three from Hell that really interests me, well, didn't so much interest me, but really caught my attention, was a scene that we got that started the climax of, you know, those toy monkeys with the symbols.
Yeah.
Like the camera really focuses on the monkey. And I mean, it's kind of like, why are you doing that? But somehow it works.
Yeah.
But his casting choices, they're good for, you know, what he's trying to pull off. And he does seem to get, you don't get the feeling of people phoning in characters with a Rob Zombie film. You know, he only picks people that are actually going to take the work seriously.
Mm-hmm.
There are no good people in this film at all. No, in no Rob Zombie movie is there a good person.
Maybe that's my problem with it. It's like, I like some hope, you know, I like some goodness.
Yeah. I don't want to have to cheer for the villains, because the heroes in them being so flawed that they're worse than the villains are.
Yeah.
Because that's what we saw in House of a Thousand Corpses. That's what we saw in Devil's Rejects. But I mean, all in all, it's Bill Moseley brings about the same energy that he has to the role. He's not really phoning it in. I've met Bill Moseley before, so it's really interesting to revisit him as Otis B. Driftwood. I wonder how much of Bill Moseley is in Otis Driftwood, to be honest, because he's a real cool guy. But, you know, there's sometimes where it's like, if you piss him off, he's probably going to rip your face off. But but given this film, you know, going on our Plotaholics shot rating, as far as story goes, I'll give it a 2. Because the actual story of how we've gotten to where we are is a pretty interesting one. And it's some good thought behind it. It's not all senseless rambling killing.
Yeah.
As far as the delivery and the acting goes, you know, Sherry Moon Zombie, what you see is what you get from her. Same with Bill Moseley. You get what you expect. The newcomer to the series, and I should have had this already prepared, but I didn't, and that's my fault. C3, but we actually got a new character introduced because the late great Sid Haig, he obviously, you know, he passed away as this film was getting released, but Richard Brake was introduced as Winslow Foxy Coltrane, who plays Otis's younger brother, and he's relatively interesting to the plot. He's a very interesting addition. So as far as the acting goes, I'll give it another 2 shots. All in all, overall, this isn't a film for everybody. If you like gore, you like violence, you like gratuitous language and violence, because the nudity in this it's not so much sexual. It's more, it's actually relatively well done. It's not just gratuitous nudity. Mm-hmm. I would give this film, if this is something you're not into, if you're not into violence and blood and murder, I would stay away from it. But if this is something that you're into, I would give it a 2-shot rating. It can be an enjoyable film.
Yeah. Brian, this weekend I took advantage of some of the early video on demand releases.
Oh, okay.
And we took a view of The Invisible Man with Elizabeth Moss.
Oh man,
this movie, Brian, is interesting.
Okay.
And it's one that I was not excited about at first, because it has the Blumhouse name on it.
Okay.
And I have such a weird relationship with Blumhouse movies. I have a theory that they're good for one good movie a year. And then, because they did do Get Out, and they did a Halloween reboot, like they have, and The Purge, and like they've got some good titles under their belt, but they release so many movies every year that are so shitty, and so I just assumed that this was going to be one of those, you know, because a lot of their films come out and they feel half cocked, you know. and they're all the horror stuff, and some of them are just so cheesy and terrible. But so I wasn't looking forward to The Invisible Man. But then the reviews started coming out, and and people liked it. I mean, it has last time I checked an over 90 on Rotten Tomatoes, or like an 89 or something. Yeah.
Okay.
So this movie, Brian, was originally slated to be in Universal's monster universe.
Okay.
A part of, you remember when The Mummy was released, the Tom Cruise movie, and it bombed. They sort of pulled the plug on that.
Yeah.
And so this film was being developed all the way back in 2006, and they just kept sort of like switching people out on it on the screen.
91% from what I'm seeing on Rotten Tomatoes right now. Yep.
Yeah.
91.
And so I think that the movie really benefited from freeing itself from that monster universe. What you have is a story of a woman played by Elizabeth Moss, who is in a terribly abusive relationship. She escapes, and then her ex-boyfriend fakes his own death. He's a optics professional, like an optics expert.
Okay.
And so he creates essentially an invisible suit, and he stalks her by making himself invisible. And so,
oh wow. So it's not like some science experiment went wrong and now he's invisible.
Right.
He's in a suit.
He's in a suit.
Oh, okay.
And so it's the reason that this movie is so good is that it's patient. Like, it really like lets that tension build, and it really sort of like lingers in the quiet, for a while. And so, it's that it does that thing where for a long time in the film, you think you saw something move, or you think something's happening, but you can't quite be sure,
Right.
And so, because the first half of the film is he's just kind of messing with her the whole time, making her think she's going crazy. And so The Invisible Man surprised me for sure.
All right. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, and Joe makes the point that Jason Blum is a Harvey Weinstein disciple. Harvey Weinstein, if you are just joining us, shown here posing for his mugshot, tested positive for COVID-19 this week.
Harvey.
So yeah, but this film, it surprised the shit out of me, man. I enjoyed it, and it was legitimately like scary. It was intense, like it's that sort of like building dread kind of scary, not gory really at all. There's not even really a lot of people that get murdered in this movie. It's just that sort of more of like the Hitchcockian type of horror.
Oh, okay. All right. So would you put this as better than Hollow Man, or on the same level?
I haven't seen Hollow Man in so long, but I was a kid, probably, like, not a kid, but I was in high school probably the last time I watched Hollow Man. And I don't ever really remember thoroughly enjoying Hollow Man. So I think it's probably better. I honestly,
Kevin
like,
Bacon.
for what this movie does with abusive relationships and kind of a really mature subject matter, I think it treats it well, and it treats it fairly, and it does create kind of an empowered moment for its female protagonist, and so overall it was a lot of fun to watch. So I give it, no horror film is without its issues. There's a ton of sort of like logical leaps that the movie asks you to make in order for this story to work. And so for that reason, it's probably in the realm of a 1 to 2 shot film, but it's really good, and it's worth checking it out for sure.
All right, sounds good.
That is The Invisible Man, and that'll do it, Brian, for
Did
this
you say
round
invisible?
I said the Invincible Man. He tries out. He puts on an invisible suit, and he tries out for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh, nice. Now that's the movie I want to see.
Yeah, he puts on an invisibility suit like the Philadelphia Eagles defense last season.
Oh. Well, see, now they've got my Javon Hargrave, so they're going to be a little bit better.
That'll do it Brian, for this issue of
The Plotaholics mini reviews. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
He didn't
Fool
take
me
the
once.
bait.
Fool me once. Shame on me, on you. There will be no
What-
twice. You'll get
What
me
is it
again.
that George W. Bush said? Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, you don't get fooled again.
It's true. No, but I'm pretty sure next week I'll probably sing and dance to something and you'll
Yeah.
get me again.
Yeah, or like Michael Scott said, fool me once, strike one. Fool me twice, strike three.
Oh, you know what? I think we need to review that Michael Scott classic at some point.
Threat Level Midnight.
Yes.
I feel like
need
we
to
absolutely do.
we really have to do Threat Level Midnight.
Did you watch it yet? All
Yes,
of it?
I did.
It's so good.
It is so amazing. That is a 0-shot rating through and
I
through.
believe it. Yeah. Just real quick, one more time for anybody who's just joining us. Again, this weekend on Saturday, March 28th at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will be going live for our very first video podcast. What you see here on Tuesday nights, that's Plotaholics Live. This is a different piece of content than what you get on the podcast. So make sure that you tune in on Saturday for the 1-year anniversary, the first ever video podcast. And if you miss that, the podcast will be uploaded as usual on all of your podcasting services.
Absolutely.
Anything else, Brian?
No, I'm just saying it's been an amazing first year. I'm very, very excited to see where we go in 2020. Are we going to be doing every show in quarantine or not? But no, it's been an amazing first year. This is a great idea that the two of us had. We are super geniuses for doing this show.
Yes.
And I could not have asked for a better partner in this endeavor.
Oh, thanks so much.
Of course.
Well, for the Plotaholics Live, I guess that's going to wrap it for this week. I'm Shane Wilson.
And I'm Brian Tan.
And we will talk to you again real soon.
Like Saturday.
Like Saturday. We're the Plotaholics. A breakfast club of two. We're the Plotaholics. Ripping plots apart for you.